Fox 10 News starts now with breaking news.
Yesterday afternoon, discovery was made and recovered the bodies that we believe to be the Chalk family. The sizes are consistent, and there were 3 bodies recovered.
Yeah, we're going straight to breaking news this morning. As you just heard Mobile County Sheriff Paul Burch say, investigators believe they've found the bodies of a Theodore family missing for more than a month. Law enforcement agents uncovered the bodies in a field in South Baldwin County. And that's where Fox 10's Brendan Kirby is live right now. Brendan, please bring us up to date.
Well, Ashland, investigators found the bodies yesterday, and they're still here hard at work today. I'm going to step out of the way and let you see. It's difficult to see because we can't get down to the spot where the bodies were actually found, but there's a big law enforcement presence out here. Sheriff Burch described the discovery as a routine follow-up at a property associated with the man accused of their abduction, Hector Gamaliel Agrataguerra. Cadaver dogs alerted on a spot where Sheriff Burch says all 3 bodies were buried. Investigators say they hope to have preliminary autopsy results later today for the victims, Aurelia Chalk and her 2 children, 17-year-old Nurica Chalk and 2-year-old Anthony Garcia Chalk. The Sheriff's Office and federal law enforcement agencies have been searching for them since January. Agrataguerra had been charged with kidnapping. Now, Mobile County District Attorney Keith Blackwood says he will upgrade those charges to capital murder. Meanwhile, Sheriff Burch not mincing words.
Yeah, he's an evil person that will face his judgment soon.
This is a horrific and gruesome murder. The state will seek the death penalty in this case. The charges will be signed today, and we will move through the Alabama justice system.
So far, Sheriff Burch says investigators are in the dark about what the possible motive for all this could be. And the news conference today was delayed by just a little bit, and the sheriff says that's because he took a call from the White House pledging the full support of the United States of America. And we're going to have more on this developing story throughout the day. Reporting live from Summerdale, Brendan Kirby, Fox 10 News.
Brendan, thank you. And again, as he just mentioned, stay with Fox 10 News for this story as we bring you all updates throughout the day. Well, following the severe weather threat, crews spent the morning cleaning up the damage left behind. Right now, you're taking a look at Halls Mill Road earlier this morning, where Alabama Power worked to clean up a tree that fell on several power lines. Those downed power lines left several businesses without power as well. Thankfully, there were no injuries, but traffic was slowed due to only 1 lane being open there. And it is 11:02 now. Here's a current look at the Alabama Power outage map. We're still seeing several areas across Mobile County and Baldwin County affected by those power outages. Alabama Power does tell us they are working actively around the clock to restore power to those neighborhoods and are asking you all to be patient. We'll keep you updated on those numbers throughout the day.
Definitely an active night overnight last night. We had quite a few tornado warnings. We've had a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings. We're seeing wind damage. The National Weather Service is doing damage reports as of this morning, so we'll keep you updated on that. But here's a look at that line that brought us that weather that is well off to our east at this point over areas of Tallahassee, Jacksonville, just making its way out of Albany right now. But as you can see, not much going on in our area. No rain, but we are seeing an overcast look. It is a little chilly out there right now as well. Our Daphne camera, for whatever reason, is not working at this time, so we're just going to move past it. But Orange Beach, though, you can see a little bit of a rip current out there. High risk of rip currents is what we're expecting today after that system moved through. This is a look at our Orange Beach camera, sponsored by Eastern Shore Toyota. 55 degrees overcast. Some people are making the most of their beach day today, but definitely cool out there. So as you can see, temperatures this morning are barely making it to the 50s in certain areas, especially near Highway 84. 47 degrees in Grove Hill right now, 52 in Evergreen, 49 in Chatham, 49 in Leakesville as well as Lucedale, 51 here in Mobile, 55 in Gulf Shores, and 58 over in Navarre. And our dew points are in that dry category. We're feeling that coolness, especially after a long week of nearly 80-degree temperatures and humid conditions. So definitely a different feel out there. Wind gusts right now, 31-mile-per-hour wind gusts here in Mobile. A northerly wind bringing in that cool, dry air, 26-mile-per-hour mile-per-hour wind gusts in Pensacola, 24 mile-per-hour wind gusts in Grove Hill, 33 mile-per-hour wind gusts in Evergreen, and 24 in Leakesville. This is going to stay pretty consistent throughout the day today. Almanac on top of that is going to be much cooler, so we're going to feel that cool, brisk feel throughout the day today, but some sunshine by this afternoon. 64 degrees for a forecast high today, below average when we're typically seeing about 71 degrees. And over the next 5 hours, that cloud coverage will begin to clear, mostly sunny skies by 1 o'clock, then mainly sunny skies by 2 o'clock. Temperatures in the lower 60s as we go on through our afternoon. Like I mentioned, below average will be in the lower 60s near Highway 84. As you get closer to the beaches, will be in the mid 60s. So definitely a cooler day for our Thursday. And we are tracking our next rain chance. It is going to be dry over the next few days, but we have our next system moving through late into next weekend, into early next week. So we have some lingering showers possible on Sunday. Then our next front moves through on Monday, and it brings us a big temperature change. We're actually expecting cooler than average temperatures for our week next week. So here's a look at our 7-day forecast just to give you an idea. We're going to have warm temperatures going into this weekend, then cooler temperatures into next week. We'll be breaking down your full forecast in just a bit.
All right, Hannah, thank you. Back in our headlines this morning, for the first time, a mother is speaking out after she says her 13-year-old stepped in to protect her during a violent attack. Deputies say Darnell Hernandez Lopez, her husband, tried to strangle her, but her son jumped in, punching him several times. The mother says her husband was threatening to kill her and everyone inside the home. She says she tried to keep her husband outside and told her son to call police and stay in the house to get them time to get there. But she says after Hernandez Lopez hit the side of the house, her 13-year-old got worried and came out to see what was happening. She says Hernandez Lopez swung at her son, but he dodged the blow and fought back.
I was able to get him on the ground, and that's when he punched him a few times and knocked him out until the police arrived.
Hernandez Lopez is now behind bars this morning in the Baldwin County Jail, charged with domestic violence strangulation. His wife says she and her son are safe and do not have serious injuries after this violent encounter. Since the start of 2026, Fox 10 has reported on at least 11 shootings across the Mobile area. 4 of them involving suspects or victims who are 20 years old or younger. DJ Rodsky is a local activist and mentor who works with young people already in the justice system, including the Strickland Youth Detention Center. He says the root of the problem comes down to one thing: opportunity.
It's hard to tell a young man don't do this, doing that when he's on the street. But when you locked up, I tell him, do it, look around again. Look around one more time. What do you see? Is this what you want? Every young person that we lose, I take that to heart, because I take everything personal with these young people, and we have to do better as a society, as a city, and as our own community, because nobody's gonna save us but us.
Now, Rodsky says mentorship, community programs, and stronger support systems can help steer young men away from violence before they end up in the justice system. Well, listen to this. The town of Frisco City will now have a special election to determine who will take the title of mayor and District 1 Town Council. This all comes after a lawsuit and the indictment of 3 Monroe County women for voter fraud in the Frisco City municipal election last August. During a court hearing yesterday, the judge ordered town officials to create a workable voter list showing all registered and eligible voters, as well as a district list showing the district each resident lives in. The judge also ruled that anyone who worked the August municipal election cannot work in the special election. Now, the judge gave town officials 45 days to create those lists. Meanwhile, Alabama lawmakers are considering whether the state should close its primaries or keep them open. Currently, Alabama voters do not have to declare a political party affiliation when registering to vote. That means anyone can vote in either primary. House Bill 541, known as the SAVE Act, would change that. It requires voters to register with a political party in order to vote in a primary or primary runoff. That would mean only registered Republicans could vote in Republican primaries and only registered Democrats in Democratic primaries. General elections, though, would not be affected. A Iranian attacks on shipping and oil infrastructure are escalating today, and the country's leadership says they have no plan to back down in the face of unrelenting airstrikes by the U.S. and Israel. But lawmakers on Capitol Hill worry the war could prompt reprisal attacks from Iranian sleeper cells on American soil. Fox News correspondent Rebecca Castor has the details now from Capitol Hill.
Iran's new supreme leader remains out of sight after being injured in an Israeli airstrike, but he says his country won't surrender and the fighting continues. Less than a week after being elected to succeed his father, the new Ayatollah Mojtaba Khamenei issued a defiant message. Read by a news anchor, Khamenei says Iran will seek revenge for the deaths of its top leaders and school children mistakenly hit by what was likely a U.S. missile. He's keeping the Strait of Hormuz closed until the war is over and told Iran's Gulf neighbors U.S. bases need to be removed. Back home, the focus is turning to Iranian threats to the homeland. Yesterday, an Iranian group took credit for launching a cyber attack on Stryker, one of the top medical device makers in the U.S. The FBI also issued a bulletin for law enforcement in California to be on the lookout for drone attacks, though experts say the size and scope of a strike like that is unlikely.
To pull off an attack like that, it obviously needs a lot of people. It needs a lot of materials.
Here on Capitol Hill, Democrats are demanding public hearings. They want Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Pentagon Chief Pete Hegseth to testify under oath.
The American people deserve answers. Senate Republicans must listen to the outrage of the public.
But most Republicans say that's a non-starter.
It's another day in the life of the drama Dems.
Democrats are also raising concerns about the price tag. The first 6 days of the war reportedly cost more than $11 billion. On Capitol Hill, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Well, look at this. Flames and smoke engulfing fuel tankers near a port in southern Iraq last night after a suspected Iranian attack in the Persian Gulf. The same is happening to boats across the Strait of Hormuz, disrupting the globe's oil supply. Energy Secretary Chris Wright says the U.S. will now release 172 million barrels of oil from its Strategic Petroleum Reserve. This is all part of a larger effort from the International Energy Agency, which will make 400 million barrels of emergency oil available. Well, a Russian court convicting 19 people for their involvement in a mass shooting, which left 149 people dead in Moscow. On March 22, 2024, 4 gunmen opened fire in a concert hall as people waited for a rock band to perform. Those gunmen later setting the building on fire, and over 600 people were injured during the event. Those 19 defendants will serve sentences ranging from roughly 20 years to life in prison. While a faction of the Islamic group claimed it was responsible for the attack, Russia, with no evidence, has pointed the finger at Ukraine, saying it played a role. But Kyiv has denied being involved. Well, NOAA warns El Nino may return later this year. We'll tell you how that could impact the Earth coming up. Plus,
folks in Illinois and Indiana are assessing the damage following a major storm that brought multiple tornadoes to the area. I'm Katie Byrne in Kankakee, Illinois. I'll have the details coming up.
And here's a look at our next 10 hours over in Fairhope. We had some rain this morning associated with a strong line of showers and thunderstorms, but we'll see those clouds start to dissipate as we get into this afternoon with temperatures in the mid-60s. Plenty of sunshine, but breezy conditions as well. A cooler and breezy day across the Gulf Coast. We'll have more on your forecast and more Fox 10 News after.
Welcome back into Fox 10 Midday. Multiple dangerous tornadoes and grapefruit-sized hail were reported as a violent severe weather outbreak tore through the Midwest, destroying homes and infrastructure and injuring several people. Now communities are assessing the damage this morning. Fox weather correspondent Katie Byrne has more from the ground in Kankakee, Illinois.
Recovery is underway in parts of Indiana and Illinois after destructive tornadoes leveled homes and scattered debris, leaving at least 2 people dead and injuring several others.
They told me to get in my basement, and once I started hearing the hail, I knew it was just going to happen. And then just heard the wind whipping and trees falling. The house behind us got hit really bad. The walls were ripped off, siding. It's horrible. There's buildings ripped up, cars are damaged. trees are falling over.
The National Weather Service reported an EF3 tornado in Kankakee, Illinois. Peak wind gusts reached 150 miles per hour, ripping up trees and downing power lines. More than 7,000 electricity customers do not have power. One woman in Lake Village, Indiana, described hiding in the bathtub with her family, praying they would survive the storm.
And then we went into the bathroom, got a piece of plywood, and within minutes I closed my eyes, the lights flickered, and there was nothing.
Severe hail was reported from Texas to Illinois, and flash flood warnings were in effect for areas of Michigan.
And then it was just a crazy, mad dash to get home, and it was hitting my car, golf ball size, and then it just got bigger and bigger.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker will be joining emergency teams to survey the damage later today. In Kankakee, Illinois, Katie Byrne, Fox Weather.
And we certainly had our own share of damage here on the Gulf Coast with the severe weather that moved into our area last night. Right now, we are taking a look at the damage at Flowerwood Nursery in Loxley. This is located off North Hickory Street. Fire Chief Tony Lovell sending these pictures into Fox 10, and take a look at some of the aftermath right there. You see a couple of containers flipped on their side, lots of damage on the roof there. Take a look at some of that lumber and debris scattered everywhere. I do know that this nursery suffered during the cold snap back in February. They had to protect their plants when the cold moved in, so now this is just another added hurdle there. Our thoughts certainly with them as they continue to rebuild the Flowerwood Nursery in Loxley. If you do have any pictures of damage in your area, again, a great reminder now, we want to see them. You can submit those to us on fox10tv.com, to our Fox 10 weather app and Fox 10 News app as well. But again, taking a look at some damage at Flowerwood Nursery in Loxley.
Taking a live look outside at Pensacola Beach right now. We do have a high risk of rip currents today, but with cooler conditions, I'm sure many people will not be in the water, but you're still going to want to be cautious as it is spring break and people are trying to soak in that vacation time. And we had a very active morning this morning with severe thunderstorms, a couple of tornado warnings as well. Like Ashlyn said, if you have any damage pictures, please send them in to us using the Fox 10 weather app or even fox10tv.com. They are very helpful to us and also to the National Weather Service for damage assessments that they are going to be doing throughout the day today. But luckily, conditions will be improving as we go into this afternoon. We'll see mainly sunny skies by the 1 o'clock hour, but we're going to continue to see those cool and breezy conditions leading to a chilly night overnight tonight. And part of that is because that system that moved through is creating gusty winds throughout the day today. We're going to have about 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts till about the early evening hours, and transitioning into 20 to 25-mile-per-hour wind gusts into the dinner time hours until about 9 o'clock tonight. And for our forecast, highs today below average. Usually we're forecasting about 71 degrees this time of year. Well, we're going to be in the lower 60s in our more inland areas. 61 for a high in Grove Hill, 63 in Chatham, 64 in Evergreen, and then getting closer to the coastline, we'll get into the mid-60s, 64 for a high in Mobile today, 65 in Pensacola as well as Fairhope, 66 in Crestview, and 64 over in Lucedale. So for afternoon planner, here's that adjustment from that cloud coverage. Partly cloudy skies by noon, and then getting to about the 2 o'clock hour, we'll see mostly sunny skies, mainly sunny skies. If that, then temperatures in the lower 60s going on throughout the day. Then tonight, we transition into chilly conditions. We'll be in the lower 40s across the Fox 10 viewing area. Some areas even approaching possibly the upper 30s. We do have a slight breeze out there as well. North-northeast winds around 11 miles per hour. Mostly clear night as well. And then going into our day planner for our Friday. Sunny skies out there. A chilly start, 45 degrees by 8 a.m. Then we're going to get it close to that 70-degree range for our afternoon tomorrow. Then even warmer conditions for our weekend. It's going to be a cool start to our Saturday. Then a very comfortable afternoon with mostly sunny skies. Then going into Sunday, it's going to be much warmer in the afternoon with temperatures near 80 degrees and a few sprinkles possible here and there ahead of a front moving through. So let's talk about that. Here's a look at our Muggy meter over the next 5 days. It's going to be dry after that front that moved through this morning. Then going into Saturday and Sunday, we're going to introduce a little bit more moisture ahead of this front moving through. That's going to bring us our next rain chance. So it's going to be dry Thursday, Friday, as well as Saturday. Could have a few sprinkles during the day on Sunday. Then Sunday Sunday night into Monday morning, we will have our next front move through, and that's going to bring a big change to our area. So we're going to be dry for Friday and Saturday, like I mentioned. Here are those sprinkles for our Sunday. Then that front approaches our area early in the morning on Monday. Then we have cold air coming in right behind it. So look what it does in our 7-day forecast. It's going to be warm going into this weekend. Only rain chances really going to be primarily on Monday. We're not expecting anything severe, but look what happens after that front moves through. 36 degrees for a low going into Tuesday morning, well below average temperatures in the lower 60s. So warmer weather this weekend, then a cooler start to next week.
All right, Hannah, thank you for that update there. Continuing the weather conversation, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration is warning that El Nino could return later this year. In a forecast released earlier, NOAA issued an El Nino watch, saying conditions are favorable for the climate pattern to develop within the next 6 months. Forecasters expect it could emerge sometime between June and August and last through at least the end of the year. El Nino occurs when unusually warm ocean waters spread across the tropical Pacific, shifting winds and weather patterns all around the globe. This could have a significant impact on winter weather and also reduce the number of Atlantic hurricanes this season. It could also make 2026 or 2027 the warmest year on record.
How am I going to work? And that's what went through my mind, because the thing about dialysis, it is almost impossible for someone to have a full-time job.
Walking for more than himself, a Mobile court officer turned kidney patient is leading the fight to help others. Hear his life-changing story and how you can join his mission next on Fox 10 Midday. He serves this community every single day as a judicial court police officer, but behind that uniform, he was fighting a quiet battle he never saw coming. Lieutenant Reginald Walker's story is one of service, family, and a phone call that changed everything. And this week, he's walking to make sure others don't face their fight alone. Here's Fox 10 evening anchor Lenny Slagon with the story.
Alabama ranks #1 in the nation when it comes to kidney disease. It's often called the silent killer. And for one Mobile County officer of the court, those words hit close to home.
I was still feeling good. I was still working. I didn't know that I was as sick as I was. And come to find out later on, they say that kidney disease kind of slowly creeps in, so your body adjusts to it over time, and you don't even really realize you're as sick as you are till maybe you get into stage 4 or 5.
What started as stage 3 kidney disease progressed to stage 4, then stage 5. Conversations with doctors grew heavier. Dialysis loomed.
You always, I hate to put it this way, growing up, I always imagined people on dialysis being 80 years old, someone's grandparents. I would have never imagined somebody that's 30 years old, still able to run, still able to get around good, still able to do daily activities, having to be on dialysis.
He drove from Mobile to Sacred Heart Hospital in Pensacola.
They said, how quick can you get over here to Pensacola? I said, I can be there in 20 minutes if you need me to be. I pulled off my uniform, got dressed, sped on over. And they had me prepped for surgery by 8 a.m. And that day I received a kidney. Hey, sir, how you doing?
Lieutenant Walker received a transplant before ever needing dialysis, and the difference in the way he felt was instant. And now Walker is using his story to help others.
I just want to encourage everyone that kidney disease is not the end. Even if there is certain treatments that people may have to undergo, everybody may not be able to get a kidney, but there are options like dialysis, there are medications, there are diet changes of different things that can really help prolong a life or improve the quality of someone's life.
The Alabama Kidney Foundation has served patients here since 1975. Every dollar raised stays right here, helping roughly 1,500 patients in Mobile and Baldwin counties.
What a powerful story there. Lieutenant Walker credits his wife for supporting him. He says she never doubted that he was going to be okay. This year's Mobile Kidney Walk and Celebration is Saturday morning at UMS Wright. Registration for this event starts at 8 o'clock. You can find much more sign-up information and also learn more about the Alabama Kidney Foundation at alkidney.org. We've got that link posted to fox10tv.com. 11:30 now. Thank you for staying with us on this Thursday. Still to come, even though we are still a couple of days away from the first day of spring on the calendar, allergies are already ramping up. I can feel this myself. We'll tell you how you can protect yourself. Plus, Costco gets sued by a customer over a tariff refund. We have that story and much more in your entertainment news next.
Committed to you. This is Fox 10 Midday.
Welcome back in. Turning now to your half-hour headlines today. Mobile County Sheriff Paul Burch says investigators believe they've found the bodies of a Theodore family missing for more than a month. Law enforcement agents uncovered the Chalk family's bodies in a field located in South Baldwin County. Sheriff Burch described the discovery as a routine follow-up at a property associated with the man accused of their abduction, Hector Gamaliel Argueta-Guerra. Cadaver dogs were alerted on the spot where Sheriff Burch says all three bodies were buried. Argueta-Guerra had been charged with kidnapping, and now Mobile County District Attorney Keith Blackwood says he will upgrade those charges today to capital murder. This is a breaking story on this Thursday. Be sure to stay with Fox 10 News for updates all day long. Well, the Sims community is mourning the loss of a dedicated public servant. Fire Chief Kevin Brooks passed away after a courageous battle with cancer, leaving behind a legacy of service and sacrifice. Chief Brooks devoted years of his life to protecting the public, earning the respect and admiration of his community all along the way. City officials are asking everyone to keep Chief Brooks' family, friends, and the Sims Fire Department in their thoughts and prayers during this difficult time. And finally, it appears not all Buc-ee's stores are in tip-top shape. Nearly 36 locations received an F rating from the Better Business Bureau. Officials say these grades came from 88 customer complaints that were apparently not addressed in a timely fashion. The BBB says its grades are based on several factors, including complaint history and how those disputes are handled. Alabama falls under the states where these stores are located. And according to the BBB, an official with Buc-ee's says it doesn't respond to complaints that come from the Better Business Bureau. In your business news today, shoppers head to dollar stores. Costco gets sued by a customer over a tariff refund. And Caesars Entertainment is in the middle of a bidding war. Fox's CJ Papa has those stories and more in today's Fox Business Briefs.
Shoppers are still turning to dollar stores to save, looking for better deals amid economic uncertainty. Dollar General says its sales and earnings rose in the recent quarter. Build-A-Bear says it had a record year and was able to partially offset $11 million in tariffs. Meanwhile, a potential class action lawsuit filed in Illinois is seeking to force Costco to pass along any tariff refund it receives from the U.S. government to customers. Costco isn't commenting specifically on the lawsuit, but says its commitment will be to find the best way to return the value to members through lower prices and better values. And the Wall Street Journal says billionaire investor Tillman Fertitta is in talks to buy Caesars Entertainment for roughly $7 billion. Caesars previously received an all-cash offer from Icon Enterprises and has not officially rejected that offer. Fertitta's business owns the Golden Nugget casino chain, restaurant company Landry's, and the Houston Rockets, among other investments. The 68-year-old is also the U.S. ambassador to Italy. CJ Papa, Fox News.
Well, here is another live look outside, this time over in Fairhope. You can see the winds are definitely gusty today as that flag is blowing in the wind. We're still seeing those mostly cloudy skies, but luckily we will see some improvement by the time we get into this afternoon. So let's check out our weather headlines for what we're tracking. Overall, we're expecting a clear and cool afternoon as well as evening. We are tracking our next rain chance Sunday as well as Monday because it's going to bring us a big change to our temperatures. But let's take a look at our estimated rainfall from the last 12 hours. Now, not a lot of rain occurred with that line that moved through, but some beneficial rain out there. About an inch of rain just south of Thomasville, about 1.6 inches of rain just south of Millbury, about 1.2 inches just over Leakesville. We have about 1.6 inches over in Citronelle, and then about a half an inch in Monroeville. Moving into Mobile County, we had about, I guess these did not save correctly, but anyways, about an inch and a half of rain over there as well. Moving into Northwest Florida, about an inch of rain in certain areas, about an inch in Allentown, as well as Jay and Pensacola, about 1.2 inches there, and then Foley about an eighth to 1 inch of rain as well. So not much to help us out with our drought-like conditions, but we'll take what we can get after it's been so dry. We'll have an update on our drought conditions later on today. But here's a look at your catnap forecast. Take a look at Bo. He's ready for his nap. This picture was submitted by Tommy Greer. Partly cloudy skies by noon. Temperatures about 55 degrees, 58 degrees by 1 p.m. Then getting into the lower 60s by 2 p.m. with sunny skies out there, less cloud coverage through the afternoon. And we saw the Fairhope Pier had some gusty winds out there on their flag. Well, here's why. We have wind gusts up to about 30 miles per hour, staying pretty consistent until about 2 o'clock. Then we'll be about 25 miles per hour into the dinner time hours. Then going into the early overnight hours, about 20-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So tonight we're going to have about northeasterly winds around 11 miles per hour. No chance for rain, a mostly clear night, but it is going to be chilly out there, about 42 degrees. But going into tomorrow, slightly warmer than what we saw today. It's still a little bit below average, but only by a few degrees. We're going to have a chilly start, 42 degrees by 7 a.m. Then getting into the upper 60s by the afternoon, then into the 50s into the evening overnight hours tomorrow. And here's a look at our dew points as well. It's extremely dry right now, but we're going to slowly increase moisture. We're still going to be in that dry category, but you can see we have an uphill slope here. We're still going to be in that dry category. The 50, 55 is the threshold for that dry category, but we're going to bring more moisture in for our weekend ahead of our next system. So for your Saturday, a cool start overall, then a very comfortable afternoon. Then on Sunday, a mild start to the day, but much warmer in the afternoon with the possibility of a few isolated sprinkles here and there. Here's a look at our muggy meter just to give you an idea of what I was explaining there. We're going to be dry Thursday as well as Friday. Going into Saturday, we're going to be in that pleasant category, still feeling a little dry. But then we're going to bring a lot more moisture. We're feeling a bit humid on Sunday. Then that front moves through and we have much drier conditions for our Monday. So over the next 5 days, we're going to be dry on Friday, today, as well as Saturday. Then on Sunday, we have that 20% chance for an isolated sprinkle or two. Then into the overnight hours, Sunday into Monday morning, our next front moves through. So let's take a look at that. Dry for our Friday, maybe a little bit of cloud coverage for our Saturday. Then we have those lingering showers for our Sunday. Then going into early Monday morning, we have this front coming through, and then much colder air coming in right behind it. So warm days ahead. It's going to be about 80 degrees for our Sunday, then much cooler on our Monday. But taking a look at our lows, which is where we're going to see the biggest drop, we could be in the 30s on Tuesday. So maybe one more frost to end our winter season.
All right, thank you, Hannah. Spring hasn't officially sprung yet, but pockets of the country are already seeing some of those warmer temperatures. Still, a symphony of sneezes will echo among the bird calls as health experts warn of a longer allergy season, all thanks to the weather. Fox News' Kevin Uretsky takes a closer look at what's behind the warnings and what you can do right now to prepare.
While the first official day of spring isn't until March 20th, temperatures are already rising across large portions of the country, and many doctors and scientists say warmer winters and falls are triggering longer-lasting allergy seasons.
The pollens have been staying around much longer than we typically see.
Folks throughout the East and Midwest may find it hard to believe, but data from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration reveals this winter was the second warmest on record for the continental U.S. According to the American College of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology, symptoms flare up when people are exposed to pollens they are allergic to, whether it be from weeds, grass, or trees, the most common. Scientists say tree pollen usually emerges before grass pollen, peaking in early spring. Because of this, doctors say it's not a bad idea for people who are allergic to start preventative measures now to try and keep any sneezing, stuffy noses, and itchy eyes at bay throughout the season.
If allergies remain untreated, it's more of a quality of life issue for patients.
Doctors say minimizing contact with what you're allergic to can be helpful, But when pollen might be plentiful outside, you shouldn't be a hermit.
Medications would be the next step. So intranasal steroids or antihistamines can be helpful, as well as oral antihistamines. And then eye drops are also an option as well. You should seek medical treatment if your symptoms are changing or getting worse, or if you're trying things like avoidance measures or over-the-counter medications and things aren't getting better.
Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
All right, some good advice there, something I'm listening to as well. Well, a new report from AAA reveals a frightening statistic. 15% of all reported vehicle crashes in 2023 involved a driver who fled the scene, which, by the way, that's a record high. And the number is even higher when a pedestrian or cyclist is killed. In those cases, 1 in 4 drivers left without reporting the crash. That makes it a whole lot longer for victims to receive help. Now, the Motor Club says most of these incidents happen when it's dark outside and there are no witnesses. Meanwhile, Toyota is recalling more than 550,000 vehicles. They include 2021 to 2024 hybrid and gas-only Highlanders. Regulators say their second-row seats don't always lock into position after adjustment. They say that could lead to an injury in a collision. But dealers will repair the seats for free, so some good news there if you own one of these cars. 11:43 now, straight ahead, a dumb law contest is being held in a California city. We'll take you there. And Uber is getting some new vehicles. Why your next ride could look a little different in your midday talkers right after this. Welcome back into Fox 10 Midday this morning. A zoo in southern New York introduced 4 very cute African lion cubs.
They were brought out one by one and weighed in front of the cameras at Animal Adventure Park.
Yeah, their names were inspired by their Valentine's Day birth. The boys are Romeo and Bo.
And then the girls are Venus and Valentine.
I love those names. It's Lioness Bisa's 5th litter in 5 years, now totaling 17 cubs raised by Bisa herself.
It's expected the public will be able to see the 4 new cubs on the zoo's opening day, which is April 25th.
All right, so we need to ask off for April 25th.
Look how cute they are. Like, I would love to have one. I am just also a sucker for animals.
Yes.
I don't think you could bring one home. I've seen some not so great endings on TV shows when owning a lion, but you know what? I'll take my risk.
There you go. But also, this is like the real life Lion King. This reminds me of Simba and Nala.
Precious.
From the Disney movie. They're so sweet.
gosh.
We always say we want to take the animals
I
home.
know.
Even if they probably shouldn't be taken home.
Probably not.
Listen to this. This is crazy. A new contest is underway in San Francisco to highlight the city's dumb laws.
The contest was launched on Wednesday, which was the 11th, by Supervisor Alan Wong.
He says it's meant to identify outdated, burdensome, ridiculous, or unnecessary city laws, regulations, permit requirements, and fees.
Some examples are a law preventing carrying bread or pastries on city streets in open baskets or exposed containers.
Wow. It's also illegal for elephants to walk down Market Street unleashed. Where did that come from?
Imagine putting a leash on your elephant, but okay, I didn't even know you could have one as a pet. But Supervisor Wong says the contest is expected to help efforts to update the city's municipal code.
And here, Alabama actually has some interesting laws on the books as well. Did you know in Mobile, wearing high heels in Mobile is illegal?
Well, I guess take me to jail because we're both in high heels right now. Also in Mobile, using confetti or silly string is prohibited. Fun fact, we used silly string during one of our classes with Alan Seals, like trying to distract each other to show you can't get distracted on air, and we literally shot silly string at each other while doing the weather in one of our classes.
That is incredible. So we've all broken the law, I'm sure.
I guess so.
Unknowingly. This one is probably a good one to follow as well. Driving blindfolded is illegal in Alabama. My grandma always says if there's a law, that means someone did it.
That is one I would hope is illegal, but I don't know why that's even a law. But finally, you can't wear a fake mustache in church. That causes laughter.
That is hysterical. These are so good.
And you know that somebody did that.
That is crazy. Obviously, listening to some of those, like the pastries one, you can't walk down Market Street in New York, I guess, with an open basket of pastries. That's so dated. I'm sure that was an old law in the books. I
just keep thinking of Aladdin.
Yeah, now I want to go and see the other laws.
I do too, and apparently we got to go to jail because we're both wearing high heels.
All right, what do you know? Well, Uber is getting some strange-looking vehicles.
People in Las Vegas and San Francisco are already familiar with Zoox robot taxis.
The company is partnering with Uber now to become available through the ride-hailing app in Las Vegas this summer.
Next year, a rollout with Uber is planned for Los Angeles.
Zoox vehicles look different because the company says they are built specifically for ride-hailing.
Other oh my goodness.
Autonomous, it's
Thank
okay.
you. It's been a long guy.
I had to think about it too.
Other autonomous vehicles like this one's Waymo uses are retrofitted passenger cars. I was about to say, I remember this brand when I went to Atlanta with my family, and I actually did a video on the Waymos, and it's definitely an interesting experience.
Also, the robo-taxis look like something from a movie.
Yeah, I don't know why. To me, it has a face.
It does.
You know
have a
how
face.
like some
This
cars look like they have a face? That one totally has one.
It kind of looks like a fun little vacation vehicle. So
I will not be riding in it because I've seen some scary things about Waymo.
Ooh.
The only reason I took a Waymo because my mom insisted on it.
Okay, you need to catch me up on that story later on for sure. Listen, it's 11:51. Thank you for staying with us for some of those fun stories there. Hannah, we are looking live where?
This is a look at Dauphin Island. A little overcast look right now and some gusty conditions, as you can see on those flags right there. We will see some more sunshine by this afternoon, and we'll have one more look at your forecast to discuss that after these messages.
Welcome back. A new video shows a terrifyingly close call at a busy intersection when an out-of-control SUV goes completely airborne. Patrick Cornell shows us the near-miss moment, and take a look at this.
Watch the moment an SUV flies through an intersection in White Plains, New York, slamming into scaffolding and a restaurant on the other side of the street. Authorities say, incredibly, no pedestrians were hurt. The driver escaped without serious injuries. Take another look at this close call as the speeding vehicle narrowly misses people crossing the intersection, going airborne and splitting through oncoming traffic before crashing, coming to a rest as smoke billows from the car. News 12 Westchester says police are looking into the cause of the accident. The White Plains Public Safety Department publishing the video online to highlight the importance of defensive driving in heavily trafficked areas. We're getting a brand new view of historic Civil War wreckage thanks to some top-tier tech. These 3D images show the remains of the USS Monitor. Famously, the Monitor was the U.S. Navy's first ironclad warship commissioned in 1862 to counter Confederate firepower, shortly after taking part in the first ever ironclad battle against the CSS Virginia. The Monitor sinking during a storm only months later off the coast of North Carolina. That wreckage, originally discovered in 1973, roughly 240 feet below the surface near the Outer Banks. Now, we're getting a contemporary view of the remnants more than 160 years after the ship went down. Using synthetic aperture sonar, a team from Northrop Grumman scanned the shipwreck, creating multi-dimensional views of the Monitor resting on the seafloor, allowing experts to better see through the murky waters to study the health of the site. For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
Yeah, some really cool imaging there. It kind of reminds me of our own ship that's docked in the harbor right now, the SSUS. So always intrigued by just the secrets that ships hold.
And the history they hold as well.
For sure. We can talk about that all day long.
We can, but we don't have enough time for that. But let's discuss our 7-day forecast. Definitely a chillier day today just because of that front that moved through that brought us our severe weather. So we'll be in the mid-60s today. Then we'll warm up into this weekend. Warmest day will be on Sunday, and we're tracking our next front that'll move through on Monday. Look what it does to our temperatures. 36 degrees going into Tuesday morning. Looks like we might have another possible frost. Temperatures well below average, usually about lower 70s this time of year. We'll be back into the 60s to start next week.
I'm glad the wild weather is behind us now, but it's time to bring those coats and jackets back out once again. Thank you for watching Fox 10 Midday. Join us both for Fox 10 Live at 3.